So, this woman killed her ex-husband's entire family with mushrooms. Not with a gun, not with a knife, with a mushroom pie. It sounds like something out of a twisted Agatha Christie novel. But this story is 100% real. It just happened in Australia. 3 people dead. 1 man in a coma. And the woman who cooked the poisoned meal, she served it all with a smile. And an orange plate just for herself. This is the chilling story of Erin Patterson, the woman at the center of what's now being called the Death Cap Dinner Party. Erin Patterson was a 48-year-old mother living in the rural town of Leongatha in Victoria, Australia. She lived a pretty quiet life on the surface, but under that calm exterior was a storm brewing. One rooted in bitterness, divorce, and revenge. The two were locked in constant battles. Arguments over money, custody, child support. It wasn't amicable, and it wasn't civil. It was war. Erin had been separated from her ex-husband Simon for a while. According to Erin, his entire family had turned against her. His parents, his aunt, his uncle. She felt they were all on Simon's side, taking his word over hers. She had her eyes on one of the most lethal species in the world, the death cap mushroom, known to cause liver failure and death within days. Just 1 cap can kill a full-grown adult. But it wasn't just Simon she despised. And at some point, Erin stopped arguing. She dried the mushrooms, ground them into powder, and stored it. She started planning in early 2023. Erin began researching something very specific: poisonous mushrooms. Not just any mushrooms. There's no antidote. Let out. She didn't just Google it out of curiosity. Let out. She went deep browsing plant identification databases, tracking mushroom sightings, reading forager warnings. She discovered that death caps had recently been spotted in 2 nearby towns. Jackpot. Erin went out, collected a batch, brought them home, and bought something very specific: a dehydrator. Her plan was almost ready. Now, she just needed a reason to invite the family over. She just needed them in the same room, at the same table, eating the same dish. Erin picked her day. July 29th, 2023. She told Simon's parents, his aunt and his uncle, that she had something serious to share with them. Something medical. A diagnosis. Something devastating. Something she wanted their help telling the kids about. What she said. Of course they were going to show up. What kind of family wouldn't? But it wasn't true. Erin had no illness. She already knew what she was going to cook. Beef Wellington. The day of the lunch arrives. Simon, her ex, backs out at the last minute. He doesn't trust her. He's been burned too many times. But his family shows up. His parents, Gail and Dawn, his aunt Heather, his uncle, Ian, for guests. 4 gray plates. Each one served with a slice of beef Wellington and a very specific mushroom paste. Erin brings her own food on an orange plate. Noticeably different. She makes a separate mushroom-free meal just for herself. As they eat, she keeps the cancer story going. They comfort her. They give her advice. They express sorrow. They have no idea what's coming. The symptoms don't hit immediately. Death cap poisoning is slow and brutal. It can take 6 to 12 hours for effects to show, and by then, it's already too late. By nightfall, all 4 guests are violently ill. They're vomiting. They have diarrhea. They can't stop. It's not food poisoning. It's something much, much worse. The next morning, they're all rushed to the hospital. None of them suspect Erin. Why would they? But Erin knows she has to play her part. So, 2 days later, she checks herself into the same hospital, pretending to have similar symptoms. He falls into a coma and spends weeks in intensive care. She's trying to blend in, to avoid suspicion, but the doctors start noticing.
Oh.
Her condition doesn't quite match the others, and 3 of her guests are dying despite aggressive treatment. It's too late. That Ian and Heather have lost their lives, that Gail is gone, devastated. Simon's mom, Gail, passes away. Then his dad, Don, dies. Then his aunt, Heather, follows. 3 family members, gone within days. Simon's uncle, Ian, barely survives. Eventually, he wakes up, weak, disoriented, and grieving, but alive. He's the key. He remembers everything, and Erin. She's out in public doing interviews, crying for the camera. She appears in front of reporters, putting on the performance of a lifetime. She claims she'd bought the mushrooms from an Asian grocery store. a lie, and a racist deflection. I just can't fathom what's happened. But behind the scenes, she's scrubbing evidence. She throws her dehydrator in a landfill. She factory resets her phone, not once but multiple times. She ditches burner phones she'd been using. She wipes browsing history, deletes files. It's clear now. This wasn't spontaneous. This was premeditated murder, disguised as a sympathy lunch. Doctors recognize the symptoms as death cap poisoning and immediately contact the authorities. The police launch an investigation. They speak to Erin. Simon's uncle Ian becomes the star witness. Tells police about the meal, the plate colors, the cancer lie, the distinct taste of the mushrooms. Detectives are stunned by how detailed Erin's plan was. By the time the investigation wraps, there's more than enough to arrest her. On August 3rd, 2023, police show up at Erin's house. They don't just knock, they bring a warrant and handcuffs. Erin Patterson is officially arrested for 3 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. In court, prosecutors outline her web of lies, her fake illness, the calculated shopping trips, the meal plan, but only because he chose not to show up. The orange plate, the attempt to cover her digital tracks, the use of burner phones, every detail points to someone who had planned this for months, not days. The trial becomes a media circus. And while sentencing is still pending, the guilty verdict has already been handed down. She faces life in Price. This case is one of the most haunting examples of premeditated family murder in recent memory. Not just because of the method, but because of the performance. Erin Patterson didn't just kill 3 people. She made them believe she was dying too. She lied to their faces while serving their final meal. She looked into their eyes, knowing they wouldn't survive dessert. Simon, her original target, lived. Had he come, he'd likely be dead too. It's a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones who smile, serve food, and say nothing's wrong. But underneath, they're planning your last supper.